final question, ultimate question of
Let's do it.
today, R&R. This is all about day trip sabotaging.
Oh,
Interesting. Again, a hot topic, I'm sure, for some of our listeners. So this is from, let me see. Oh, this is from another Mandie. This is from Mandie I'm not sure where Mandie's from, actually. From another Mandie. And she says, "Hi to you both. I'm really enjoying listening to the podcast, and I thought I'd reach out with a little issue I'm having at the moment." Good choice, Mandy. With the holidays edging closer, I'm trying to plan some nice things to do, but my child seems to sabotage any nice trips or days out. So I'm feeling reluctant to do anything with them just in case this happens again. Do you know what? I'm hearing so many past conversations that I've had with people, and I know you're feeling the same. She
absolutely.
has spoke. So she says that this lovely Mandy that I'm with now has spoken about this on a previous episode. But to be honest, I'm feeling so much anxiety about what the right thing to do is. It's all a bit overwhelming. Can you help with some practical ideas?
Well, from one Mandy to another, I hear you and I feel your pain. Um, and I think the easy option is they're just going to sabotage anything that I try and do that's really nice. So I'm just not going to bother.
Mhm.
But it
Mhm.
leads us all to have a really insular, boring life. And we need to expose our children to these different things so that they then are able to predict what it will be like as they get older. Does that make
Mhm.
sense? Um,
Definitely.
so start small would be one
Yeah.
of my top tips for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely. When you say small, Mandy, what are we talking? The local park, the local
Little
cafe?
park, um, picnic in the garden with a friend,
Nice. Oh, I like that.
really small, low key. If you have a dog, maybe go to a dog park, go for
Yeah.
a walk, find some local woods, go for a walk through the woods. But don't,
Mhm.
once you've been to the same place, um, reach out, go a little bit further away, but do it in little steps
Mhm. Mhm.
all the time. When you are planning that big day, if you are lucky enough to, I don't know, maybe go on a big family day out with external relatives, um, plan as much as you possibly can and pre-teach. I'm a big believer in pre-teaching. So if
Yes,
I'm going to
definitely.
go to somewhere new with one of my children or my both of them if they're lucky, um, I will show them pictures of where we're going. I
Yeah.
will show them a map of how we're going to get from my house to wherever it is that we're going and how long that is going to take. My children are 12. They're quite good with estimating timings now.
Sure.
If you've got much younger children, they're not going to get that it's going to be 1 hour and 45 minutes, but you could say it's going to be um, as long as uh, one of your CDs that I'm going to play in the car, and they can choose
Sure.
the CD and then they can work
Sure.
it out from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, when you get to your place where you're going to, have an exit plan so that if the child gets overwhelmed, to reduce your embarrassment and the pressure on you, you have a nice quick route to get out, find a quiet place. I had to do this in the Science Museum in London when my child had a meltdown once. Or if it's too difficult, like in the Science Museum, it's really difficult to go outside and then get back in again, find a quiet spot where
Mm.
it's tucked into a little corner where people aren't going to be walking past, staring, pointing, making comments.
Mhm.
It's not
Mhm.
full. People are going to do it. That does you don't need to take that on as well as having a child being overwhelmed. Um, limit your time. Be really specific with your time. Make sure you have plenty of drinks and snacks with you.
We're just gonna say food is a big thing, isn't it? Knowing when they're getting their
Yeah.
snacks and their lunch and their dinner, all of those have to be predictable, yeah.
And plan when and where you're going to have your lunch, because that will also help reduce some of those anxieties.
Mm.
When they are going home, all of that energy that they've used, that nervous, anxious energy, it may either completely boil over and you might have a really rubbish journey home, so prepare yourself, or they're gonna be so exhausted from keeping it together all day, they're just gonna wanna sleep in the car. So have
Yeah.
something that is comforting to them. So I always used to keep a fluffy blanket in the car.
Mhm.
They used to take a soft toy with them on a day out, but keep it in the car so that it wouldn't get lost. I've done that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a good
Yeah.
ending to a day out.
Ew, no.
Um, so yeah, be really prepared yourself so that you can then sound really confident when you're preparing them. But if you can,
Mm,
start small. Do half an hour at the
definitely start
beach or
small.
half an hour at
Yeah.
the park and then gradually build up.
Mm. And I think, Mandy, when you're talking about planning as well, is making sure that none of these are a surprise to the children. We can't just get up on a random Wednesday in the summer holidays and go, guess where we're going today? It just cannot work like that, because immediately you are putting the fear of God into these children, about what does that look like? You didn't tell me, I didn't know. So the planning has to be done well in advance, doesn't it? Not the night before or at the breakfast table while everybody's scrabbling to get their stuff together. It has to be done in advance.
And
Children have to know.
you can drip feed more information. So if we are going to, I don't know, if we were going to the Science Museum when we did that, I told my children a week beforehand,
Right.
gave lots of information, and then every day after that, I would just drip feed a little bit. Do you want to have a look at that map just so you can see what way we're going? Can you remember what the door looks like as we go in? Should we have a look at that? Now, I can't remember where the toilets are. Should we have a look on the map of the museum and see where the toilets are? And
Great idea.
coming up with ideas to try and re-engage them. You're confirming to them it's going to happen. You're not going to let them down. You're not going to suddenly change your mind, but you're
Mhm.
doing it in a really low key way. So you're not hyping them up. You're not getting them all excited about it.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just reminding them really calmly, and that should have better success.
yeah. I was just thinking as well about listener Mandy saying about her feeling overwhelmed and, it's making her not want to do something. And I was just thinking about her expectations of the day. We've talked, obviously, understandably and correctly about planning for the children, but about Mandy's expectations as well. Her day out, whether it is a picnic in the garden, half an hour down the park, or a day in London, or even going on holiday, none of this is going to look like a Hallmark movie. I know I talk about life not looking like Hallmark movies and not, and I will probably continue to do so for many years. But it's about the expectations. This is not meant to look like an Instagram worthy, perfect family day out. Somebody will fall over and graze their knee and cry.
Yeah.
Somebody will be busting for the toilet at the most inappropriate time. Somebody will keep asking when lunch is, even if you've told them 100 times. You're probably going to get stuck in traffic if you are traveling for a little bit. You know, is it the fluffy blanket in the car might not be quite fluffy enough for someone at some point. None of it is going to look perfect. So I think, for any parent thinking about these days out and how it might feel like sabotage, is actually, it's okay if it goes wrong.
Mm,
It's okay if you only manage to eat half a sandwich in your picnic in the garden, because you can come back and try again, and you might get three-quarters of the way through that sandwich. And then the next time you might get a whole sandwich. And then the next time you might get half a packet of crisps done as well.
yeah.
It's okay if things go wrong. It's okay if you have to try this 100 times over before it looks even relatively like a picnic in the garden. It's okay. Nobody is judging you on how good or how perfect or how wonderful your days out are. It's the fact that you're trying and the fact that you're showing the children that you're trying that's the most important. And just because Susie down the road has had a wonderful day trip to London, good for Susie. Let her have a wonderful day trip out. She can stick it on Insta if she wants to. Hashtag making memories, Susie, whatever, But ours don't have to be. Firstly, they can't, because I would imagine 99% of our listeners aren't allowed to upload photos of their children anyway.
Mm.
But so what? But so what? That's okay. The expectations have to be, I guess, lowered a little bit, but not lowered because we shouldn't have high expectations, lowered because we're reasonable, realistic, therapeutic parents.
Yeah. And I think when you're planning a day out or when you're planning a holiday, it's going to look very, very different than you would have expected it to look like. Let me put it that way.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
holiday isn't a holiday for you. The day out isn't a day out for you. What we're doing
Absolutely
is
not.
we are creating moments to expose our children to how big the world is and how safe we can be in it. And if you can expose them to that and come home and then have a packet of chocolate biscuits that are your favourite hidden in the back of the cupboard, and that is your treat for the day, that is your reward, do that.
Mhm.
If you're going to go away on holiday with children and you're looking, or you have booked to go away in the summer, book yourself some time after that holiday just for you.
Absolutely.